The trees are waking up.
Yep, they're not asleep anymore.
This is a song by BrooksOfYork.
True.
And
he's all right.
I think it'd be fun because I've never done this with an artist in the room before. So let's take this through the entire process.
I made it.
You made this. So what was the how did you write this? Did you write it on an instrument or did you write it in the DAW?
I wrote it in the DAW.
Okay.
So if you go to that opening line, do 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 do,
the keyboard part, right?
Do do do. I actually played it on a mandolin.
So I probably committed all this stuff. So let's see.
It's gonna say like keys or.
I think I deleted all of it.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Synths. Here we go. Okay, there it goes.
Ooh.
So this guy here. That one?
That's it, man.
Okay.
And then if you add in the dupe. Oh yeah. Open it up. Open it. Look at it. Look at it.
I think people sleep on Expand, and it's including me. I'll hate on it too, but then you'll send me stuff, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's fire! That's awesome."
I used to hate on this, and I was like, it was when I just first got back into using synths, and I was like, I need something. I don't want to pay for a plugin. Let me just see if I can find a placeholder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started messing around with Expand. And I think this was probably the first song where I really relied on Expand as a bed of sound, because before I've just used it for some whirly piano and vibe sound, and it's good for that. But
I was gonna say we've been using Expand since BrooksOfYork started.
Yeah,
you've been using Expand.
But I love it, so I use it in conjunction with Arcade.
Yeah. I think the marriage of those two has been a real
100%
beautiful thing. And Arcade I can't load it here actually, because we print them all, but Arcade is an amazing synth by output.
I love it.
So that's how you wrote it. That's cool. And then, so what happens after you write that synth line?
I want
to talk to Eric?
Yeah.
Should we talk to Eric? No, let's not talk to him.
Ask him if he wants a pizza.
Wess meets Wess. First drummer.
Woo!
First drummer, first track. Wess meets Wess right here.
Very bad. Very bad drummer.
It did, but then we got rid of it.
That's a good thing.
Okay, and then so what comes after that? Does vocals come after that, or just
Nah, the synth.
keys?
So the synth dupe track and then the keys track were there to bolster it.
So all these, let's solo these up. Right.
Yep. That's all Expand too.
Yeah. So usually I'll freeze or commit this stuff as we send it back and forth. We'll talk about that process in a second. But so you got this, and then what? Are you writing vocal melodies to these keyboards?
No. I from there went and threw in some drums.
Okay.
Which I think was
probably these. Looks like I committed some.
It was a combination of 808s and then another battery. Yeah. So once I had these, then I stripped away the lead line.
This lead line, yep.
And now that's when I started writing.
Right.
So my normal process is get a bed going, whether it be guitars or keys, get some level of drums behind it, and then I'll start singing to it fake words all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fake words all day, and then just.
Eventually, I'll get like 3 or 4 real words. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we're writing the song about. Got it. And then I'll spend anywhere from weeks to months writing it. These lyrics I kept coming back to over the course of 2 years before I could get because I'd have a verse done, and then I don't know if you've ever been in a situation you try to force something and it's this is filler. It sounds like garbage.
I don't know the word.
Oh,
filler.
you only write hits. Yeah, my bad. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but no, of course, yeah. It takes my joke is it takes me 2 years to write 15 minutes of music, so that's my sales joke.
I'm with you there, but yeah, I've had this track. This track started I started writing it in 2020. Wow. And then I didn't finish it until 23, into 24.
Yeah, we finished this early this year, right?
Yeah.
And, okay. So you add, and let's talk about the process of so you work on this all at home. You have Pro Tools. You have synths, you have guitars. Let's see, did you add guitars to this song?
In the end,
okay.
So where the drums come in, the acoustic drums come in full blast.
Right. Let's see. And so you have guitars at home, you have a studio setup, you have a vocal mic, so you're doing this all at home, and we don't even see each other generally. We'll talk all the time, but we don't do stuff in person generally.
This first time this year.
That's true. It's first time this year. And so, but I think that process, people see us in the studio like this, and they think they need this like fancy studio to do all this stuff, and the reality of it is like it's happening in basements and closets.
Yeah,
and
I don't even have monitors at home.
Yeah. That's right.
I have headphones.
Yeah.
Anytime I go on TikTok live, I just run it through the computer speakers.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, I think people seem like there's like this entrance barrier of like, oh, I need to get all this stuff and this. I mean, we're blessed to have this here to do this, but honestly, I would say 95% of this stuff happens, at your house, on my laptop at my house. We may do drums here, but a lot of the times we hire drums out to people that do it at their houses, either in Nashville or in Maine, or I think that's it now, right?
That's it, yeah.
So, for people that just want to make music, like just start making music. Like I think you'd be shocked to see our setups at home. It's not. It's an SM7B vocal mic
and an Apollo.
Yeah, and that's an amazing thing.
My computer is way too old.
Yeah, you do need a new computer.
I do.
And we're sending you home today with...
That would be great.
No computer. And so actually, just for the guitar nerds, you're doing mostly DI these days.
I'm doing only DI these days.
I add this to all your guitars.
That sounds great.
Yeah. UAD chorus, man, I love it. I think, did we both hate chorus, or was it just me that hated chorus?
No, it was both of us.
Okay, we both hated chorus for a very long time.
Yeah, you use too much, but in the mix, I'm like, oh, this sounds really good. But like on its own, I'm like, oh,
no, that's a lot. That's a lot on its own. And I don't throw it necessarily on everything. On these, I'm a little surprised I threw it right on the track. Sometimes I'll usually throw it in parallel.
Sounds good though.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the track.
It's super dreamy.
I think over the course of, specifically this project, but also like our arcs as musicians, chorus has like been a hilarious thing where you don't touch it, and now it's like cool again. But yeah, you got to use it nicely.
I would say sparingly, but you're not using it sparingly here.
Well,
it is drenched.
It is drenched. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I miss it completely.
Oh yeah, no. In context, it sounds really good.
And then let's see, we're going to some other stuff here. That's you. Anytime you see that, it's a Dave. Which is no. There's nothing wrong with this. That's great,
dude. I try to utilize the stock stuff as much as I can.
There's nothing wrong with this plugin. It's amazing.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like in terms of like our process, like I'm at a point now where I try to send the track to you as completed as possible in terms of like carving out stuff from an EQ standpoint. Like I know it's not as good as it can be, but for me, it's like, well, let me create the best reference I can, so it's less me trying to explain it because I do a horrible job doing that.
Yeah.
And more of like, hey, I feel like we're like 70% here from a sound.
I don't even think we talk about it anymore. It's like you get it there. You get it like honestly. Sometimes you get it 100% and we just master it really. But there's times where listen, it's But I think you doing this is amazing because you did come up as an engineer. You are an engineer. You've been doing this a long time. So for you to do this makes a lot of sense. And honestly, a filter, like I probably did it again here. Let's see. Yeah. But I probably did it again just based on a preset of my own. But either way, having it is great. But I also love that when you send me something, I don't have to like totally start from scratch, There's certain things I will change. Let's like specifically... Actually, what's funniest with the vocals, I used to like take off all your stuff, but then we would like miss it, right? And so there's moments where I have like 3 buses of vocal stuff because
oh Jesus,
we'll both do stuff. I'm trying to think if that's one of these songs. No. I guess, I don't know if you do, we both use this, right? So that's...
Our comp all day.
That's you, because I use Opto generally. But,
although, like, my view looks way different than that.
Oh, because you use I use the Legacy. Yeah.
I use the Light.
I use the Legacy.
Because you can't even, yeah, you can't.
No, I don't even, I can't even use the new ones. I don't know. It's fine, but I just like the old one. Old school.
Yeah, it's all good.
Old school. From when you used to crack waves.
You know it.
And then, so, yeah, just looking at the vocals. Sorry, we haven't looked at this session in a while, so
No.
to look at this is... Why is this not... Folders are annoying. You don't use them.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
This is a whole new thing
Yeah.
for me. Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know why these are inactive. Okay, so this is a good example right here. This vocal buzz. This is you. Like, this is you doing this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Love the Echo Boy for slapback.
Yeah, which is great. And so this is an example. I'll leave it. I'll tweak it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it and then send your vocal.
This has been like my default now for like, I might mess with the low and the high pass, but like that's...
But then I'll send your vocal bus into my vocal bus.
Yep.
And then and that marriage though is like really special because like this is like, I mean, for this song, this is we don't always use the reverse, but we generally use like kind of this is like a pretty good template of like your vocal sound for me.
I think that's a big reason why we don't have to like talk about what's going to be done in the mix so much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of built-in stuff.
So there's other things going to that. Clearly, the guitars are going to that reverb. Let's see if we can get some vocals here. But you know, we have been switching up the vocal sound too for songs. I know we've been like.
Well,
leaning into other things.
With this song and the other 3 or 4 that are going to be on the EP, it's been more like 80s, 90s influence from a slapback perspective, and less verb.
But this non-lin on this one especially is a pretty crazy part of it.
Yeah.
And just for the mix people, this is like, so this is what I would call like the kind of the final vocal chain, right? I mean, we're doing so much to it individually. You know, we're throwing some compression, some effects there's some tuning at times.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, you use this quite a bit. We use this quite a bit. I don't, that was you. I don't.
Oh, yeah, I mess with the format.
That's cool. That's cool.
You get this more like lower register, like throaty sound.
Yeah.
You drop the format like that.
And then it goes to this like final vocal thing that we tweak. So this would be like doing some de-essing. I think we just thought the vocals just were too bassy at that. I guess we just shelved that. I don't. This is so corny to say, but like I don't mix from like numbers. I just we mix till it sounds good for us. Like I don't sit there and go, the attack needs to be this. I mean, like we've done this for so long that I think that stuff comes second nature. But the most important thing is how it feels and sounds. You know.
Agreed.
But so I mean, people ask me like, oh well, what do you? I don't know where the shelf is. Okay, 200. Okay, that's where we wanted it. You know, that's where it sounded good. This is in parallel. This is a cool, subtle, but it really brings up the vibe of the vocal. I really love what that does. This stuff I had off. Just turn that stuff off. I don't always use this every plugin on our chain here. API. That kind of lives on the vocals, just makes it kind of sexier. De-essing, more de-essing.
Yeah, I need it.
And then almost nothing on this limiter. Sometimes, did I do it on this one? No. Very often I'll do isotope, like declicking on your vocals.
Oh yeah, I got the smack.
Oh, we shifted this. This is the one we shifted. That's why that's right. This one was like, we shifted this one last minute. Remember we like shifted.
Yeah, it sounded, it was just a little bit off.
That's why all these are inactive. I was like, why the heck are these all inactive? So let's just listen to a little bit
I'm
more.
glad we did that because like after tweaking it, I'm like, oh, it sounds so much better. It's like I sang it to the grid, but the delay compensation, or whatever the hell that's called. It's a proper term.
Latency when you recorded?
Latency, yeah. I didn't go back and shift it.
So do you do that? Usually, whoa. I'll say I'm spoiled. I don't have to do that here. What do you record at?
Either 512 or 1024.
Oh, that's your prop.
Yeah.
You can't.
I can't. If I go any lower, it freezes.
Okay. So when you get the new computer, you'll be able to bring it down. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm probably...
You're living in like 15 years ago. I love this.
Yeah. Sucks.
I'm gonna get you a computer. I'm gonna get you one.
Yeah. You got one? Let's take it with me.
We'll take a quick pause. Everything good over there, Maria? Okay, cool.
Should have brought my sunglasses.
I know. I'm trying to think what else to talk about in this tune.
I mean, how about talking about how the 808s are basically the bass in the chorus?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're still rolling. Or...
We're rolling.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
I just want to roll the song for a second, just to...
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much going on in these songs that... I mean, we could go one by one even, but I don't know if we need to do that, but...
I mean, I defer to you.
Oh, wait. Is that a different song? Yeah.
No, he
does that?
He swells it
Yeah. Who played on this?
At the outro. John
Valencia played on this. A while ago, though, right? This was a while ago, right?
We recorded this a while back. Cause like, yo,
he did this in Nashville, though, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was home in Yorktown because he posted about being at home and having some free time, and I was like, oh shit,
oh yeah,
I should take advantage of this. And I was like, yo, the song's not done, but can you record these parts?
Yeah.
And then,
oh, you know what? Okay, so let's look at these drums, yeah, and then we'll look at the 808. We'll just go down in order here.
Yeah.
I really loved what we did on. Is this the one where we? There's like different snares that come in at different times. Yeah, these cymbal swells are like, they make the song for me. It's really strangely awesome. Okay, right, we're using some different samples here.
Yeah, I love the drum sound you got out of the acoustic drums.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, it's what I like about this project is there's nothing sacred. Like we can take acoustic drums and make them sound electronic. We can
100%.
we can take electronic drums that sound like real drums and mix them in with real drums. Whatever. There's no.
And we have.
Yeah, and we have.
Yeah.
And like I think there's a really cool progression. Like I was listening to the older to the new, and it's like there's a really cool progression of kind of no rules of just doing weirder and weirder stuff.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, these toms, I really liked that. This was like a late in the game thing too, that I just like EQ'd the fuck out of these towards the end, and it just started to like. I didn't even tell you. I think we just did it, and they just got huge.
I love it. Honestly, like I would sample these.
Yeah, and also like it goes without saying, like John is a master. He's incredible. I mean.
Yeah, so like for this song, I gave him just like the end piece, and I was like, "This is where I need you to play." And he asked, he's like, "Do you mind if I try some stuff?" I'm like, "Try whatever you want." So everything up to like the outro / bridge, it's just him feeling it.
Wow, because that's actually my favorite part is this stuff here.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Because he even said it. He's like, "I'm trying to play to the electronic drums."
Yeah.
But yeah, this was what we try to get him to do.
Yeah.
Or the reason I called him in.
And then, this was it. What is this? This was an interesting thing. All right, that's pretty wild. It's funny because you don't even see this stuff.
No. This is my first time seeing the session.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean that's a good part of it too. So Dave does you spend a while on them before I get them. You'll send me like stuff to listen to. I got to listen to that too, by the way. I meant to listen to it on the way, and I didn't listen to it. But so you'll spend weeks, months, years on some of the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I wouldn't say years. A lot of the stuff, just like I'll come back to it if it's like this song, for instance. I came back to it several times over the course of like 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's probably like a month or two all in of like actual like back-to-back work. Because I've tried to stop pushing through like writer's block and more so just get super familiar with like, I feel creatively inspired now. Work on it.
Yeah.
I've lost that feeling. Let's go have a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
Turkey.
Wow, okay.
Turkey.
And so when I get it,
I'm sorry. Deli mustard.
I hate mustard in
so
general.
Good. It's so good.
I'm a relish with it myself. But and then so when I get it, I don't know if you feel this way, but like once I get it, I spend however long it needs to like for me to be happy with a mix, right? And so I try to give you something where it's like this is fairly complete.
Yeah.
And then the real special stuff happens where it's like sending stuff back and forth with ideas. I'll send you the session whole back. We'll sample the entire song. Like, and I mean this like in a nice way. Like you've challenged me to like open up my brain of like, oh, let's sample the whole song there or the tail of that. like when you press play on something. Let's see if we can get it to do it. Like that reverb trail is like, oh, we need that. And I'm like, oh my God, how do we get that? Okay, let me set up another way to record the trails of the reverb for Dave because he wants this. Or we're always sending stuff out to pedals or synths or like OP1 stuff. And like, you'll tell me like, hey, this part needs some magic. Like this part needs something. And that's, some sprinkles. Yeah. So there's kind of like, I view it as there's two parts of the process. There's like, you send me the session, I get it organized into my template. I make it sound like mix ready for our needs, and then there's like this production, which I think we spend maybe the most time on, like the last 10% of it.
Yeah, I feel like you mixing the songs only takes like, I don't know, 2 to 4 hours, and then the rest of it's just back and forth, idea, and it's really that last 10%. And honestly, like that's the stuff for me. It's the hip check of like do we have enough interest? Am I doing something a little bit different from verse 1 to verse 2? Am I missing? I'll look at stuff like from a frequency standpoint and be like, I feel like there's like no high end here. Sam would probably know what to do here.
But then there's also the. I totally just lost my train of thought. I was gonna say
it's that deli mustard.
It is that deli mustard. Wow. I totally lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
Whatever. This is you on bass, right?
Yeah.
So that's a dark bass, but where are we? Interesting. So wow, we went. That's like pretty dark in general.
With the Jag bass I have and the style of bass playing I prefer for like at least my music, I think you did it on a song a while back. And you were like, I just rolled off like all the highs, and I heard it, and I was like, oh, that's the sound I like. So as a standalone bass tone, no.
Yeah.
But in context of the song, like it really works because like that whole end piece was written around the bass line.
Yeah.
And then once we got all the pieces together, I realized that the bass and the guitars weren't matching up. So then I rewrote the bass, but like rhythmically, creatively, it was all based around.
I think I got that from Phil too. Phil, who plays on some other stuff too for both of us. He rolls off a lot of highs too.
And Phil was playing all bass on the Brooks of York stuff. I think for like the first like 5 or 6 songs or something like that. Yeah. But it just got to a point where I got more involved with it, and I kept handing him like almost like finished tracks, and I was like, oh, I should just play this. So I also chop up all my basses.
Yeah. So this is a bunch of the electronic drums. I mean, you and I have been doing electronic drums and acoustic drums since we've met in 05 or some shit. Like that's been our thing for a very long time.
I forget what battery patch this is. Not the 808s, but the other drums. I love it.
Which one? The crunch drums? These ones?
Probably drums 1.
I think I committed them.
That's all right.
Yeah, so we'll have to.
I mean, I can go back into my files.
Yeah. So that's a big part of, we have an instrument library. We use a lot of native instruments. So here's one. Yep. And that's what happens a lot of the time. And so I'd have to find these. I'm not going to do it right now. No. But I'd have to go and find these. And that's why I freeze or commit a lot of these. But the problem is sometimes you'll be like, hey, lower the hi-hat in your battery. And it's like, okay, gotta go figure that out. But we do that. We got a shaker. Okay, we played the guitars. There's only guitars at the end. We played these synths. We got some vocals. We redid those vocals. Oh, this is some stuff at the end we added. So this is
I think this is you.
Yeah, that's me. I love this new Forbidden. It's just like stupid good. And then the Stratus by Spitfire.
Yeah, this was cool.
Sick. It's like OP1 without having to get the OP1 out kind of stuff. These are some more expands that you added.
So I think that's getting to like some of the stuff where we went back and forth.
Yeah, and that's why this is all at the end here too, because it was so late in the process where I just left it because it was kind of new where we just left it towards the end.
And it's all expand.
Yeah. 80s brass synth.
I gotta go find that patch again.
Sounds like Stranger Things.
It
Some
does.
more, and then some more ooze. Yeah, you'll always throw me some ooze late in the process. Like, we need these ooze.
It's always some.
But what did I do to those? Oh, you did that.
Oh, it's the Phase Mistress,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's like
cool.
it's totally like it's underrated as a
no,
plugin.
we should use it.
Put another one on.
Put another one on.
Phase Mistress. Just stack them.
Just stack them.
Yeah.
And then the other part, actually, this song too. It's funny. Oh no, that was the other song where I was like side chaining the whole vocal. No, it wasn't the song. So that's like the whole session, which is not insignificant. And then there's the whole kind of master. So basic little EQ. I guess I'm doing some mid-side just to get the lows out of the sides a little bit. I don't always do that. Pretty much always use this tape machine. So that's kind of like, you know, you're mastering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Wow.
Yeah. That's like the sauce. That's the sauce of like this song. Like that's kind of what we've. I mean, it's not the same for every single song, but this is probably on 90% of the stuff. This is on 90% of the stuff.
I like that you master in the track too.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like illegal, right? It's kind of like something you shouldn't do, but I mean, there's no secrets here, right? I mean, I think we take a really long time to do stuff, but we also at the same time work really fast. Yeah. And I don't like when I send something out, you always ask me like, is this the master? And I generally always go back and like make sure that the beginnings are 100% trimmed and everything. But like, if you were to put out a mix, which I've had it happen, not with you, but with other people, like if you were to put out my reference mix, like I want it to be quote unquote finished, like and ready.
That makes sense.
And like when we listen to stuff in your car and on your headphones and stuff, like you want to be able to compare it to finished stuff, right? And so So there's people that would give me a lot of shit for. I mean, I'm mixing through a mastering chain. Like I am.
I like it because when before it would be like, cool, here's the mix, and then you have the master, and then I gotta sit on the master for like a few days and go, wait, what did we lose? What's different?
You lose a lot.
Well, like, and it's also just like you just got to get used to it, right? And I'm like, oh, I hate doing that. So this is already built in, where it's like, hey, if there is anything that sounds like it's off, it's like it's a minor tweak. Normally.
Yeah, I mean, and if I were to give you, and what I do at times when you say like I need something to record to, I'll give you this and I'll turn it all off because this adds a lot of latency.
Yep.
But which I guess for you it would help maybe actually. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people would give me shit. I don't master your own stuff. Don't do this. I don't master everything that I do, but I think for the way you and I work on this project, I actually don't think we could rely on someone else. There's times where there's times where I want to, and maybe we will in the future on like if we have like an EP or an album or something. But the way we work and the speed at which we need to get things done and tweak things like last minute, we do work with other people. Yep. Like you sing on other people's stuff, and there's other tweaking that has to happen quick. So there's SSL. I generally use this if it's an acoustic song, like Imagine It or something like that. I might use a Magic Death Eye, but I generally use the SSL. This is like the not so secret crazy sauce. It's doing a lot of heavy lifting, but I generally am only using the.
What the hell is that?
It's the God particle. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's sparkly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have such a love-hate with this plugin because they don't really tell you what it's doing, but I spent a very long time figuring out what it's doing. So it's like
it's the BBE. BBE?
Yeah. Don't sleep on that. Did I use BBE on this song? Let's see. Oh, I didn't.
That's
very sad.
All right, let's pull it.
I have one.
We do it.
I have one at home, a BB just under my desk that it's wired in to print. And then some limiters, and then this is just like volume. I'm gonna get shit here for just do -14 for Spotify. Okay, you guys do that. You guys have fun doing that. Yeah, so that's the trees are waking up. Anything else you want to talk about with this too?
My favorite color is purple.
Okay, that's great.